Welcome to Poppy's Workshop and the first in a series of short video courses on scrolling, all about the scroll saw. And we're gonna work a lot of different subjects, but for now, we're gonna go back to the basics. In this video, we're gonna be talking about setting up your scroll saw, and really, it's pretty simple in setting up your scroll saw when everything is right. Um, we'll get into maintenance and things like that in most likely our 201 series, but for now, we're going to talk about three things in terms of the setup of your scroll saw. The first will be making sure that your cutting deck is perpendicular to the blade, uh, tensioning, and then let's see, speed, and that's it. So we're going to take the next couple minutes and go over this. So in terms of setting up your scroll saw, the first thing you want to look at is making sure that your blade is perpendicular to the cutting deck. Most modern scroll saws will either have a tilting table or, like the Pegasus, will have a tilting head or a tilting arm, whichever way you want to call it. Excuse me. So we're going to approach all those things. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself a good engineering square. This is made out of aircraft aluminum, so it has a perfect 90 degree, and it fits quite well on the cutting deck and the blade. So you got a nice long line there. Let me get my pointy stick here. And the goal is to make sure that this blade is perpendicular, 90 degrees. Now, two things to look at. Um, if everything is fine with your chuck, and we'll talk about that in a moment, everything is fine with your chuck. It's just a matter of adjusting your table. Let me turn on this. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you can, nope, you can't see it from this angle. I have a digital inclinometer, I can't pronounce it, uh, digital level. So I'm at 0.05. So I'm within tolerance of being perfectly 90 degrees. And I think that's just because the tape that holds this on is kind of swelling a little bit. But we're going to go by this. So what you will do when you're out of 90 degrees here is you will adjust your table or your arm. Get that in 90. Now, there may come a situation where no matter what you do, you can't get that to work. Well, this is where the chuck, the top and the bottom, become very important, as you have set screws and you want to make sure that your set screws are even as well, because as you do more scrolling, as you're tightening and loosening and tightening and clamping, uh, these little set screws will loosen, they'll move, they'll wear down. So you would get a wrench and also an Allen wrench, and you would adjust the top and the bottom, because that will move the little set screws in and out. So that is one of the last things that you would look at, again, being your cutting deck or your arm being in the level, or I should say perpendicular. So the next thing we want to look at is tensioning. At the back, I've got a 30-inch, so I cannot reach. But if you have a 21, 22-inch scroll saw, like the Excalibur, like the Bauer, like the Pegasus, or pretty much any scroll saw, you're going to see a big knob at the back. And that's something you're going to tension up a little bit, because the goal is when you're in the tensioned position, you pluck. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. You want to hear a high pitched ping. almost like an A note. If you hear a dull, and if you also have a lot of lateral flex, you will have issues. And that's when you are completely tensioned. The other thing that you want to do is adjust your speed. Um, I adjust my speed all the time. I have a variable speed saw. I do not run it full pretty much any time, but depending on the thickness of the wood and the type of wood, how hard it is, I will adjust it. Generally, I never go more than 3/4, but I will slow it down to 50% if I'm doing, say, uh, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch wood and I'm not stack cutting. So you want to be aware of the speed and don't overdo it. Remember, speed increases friction, which increases heat, which also increases the wear on your blade. It also can cause scorching of wood. If you have too high of a speed and you're at a higher Jenka hardness, you will burn that wood and you don't want that. So there you go. The three things to look at is being the perpendicular to the deck, the tensioning, and the blade speed. And that is it for 101 for this first video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see in terms of other lessons, and I can personalize this to what the audience wants. May the Lord richly bless you. Make it a great day right here at Poppy's Workshop.